Hola a todos! My name is Queen Elena of Avalor, and in Spanish my full name is Reina Elena Castillo Flores de Avalor. I am the Queen of Avalor. It's lovely to see all of you today. I want to make sure to say a special thank you to our friends at the Newport Public Library for having me here today to read to you. I know I'm all the way in my palace, but I'm sending you a big, big hug all the way across the ocean, wherever you may be today. We're going to read some stories, sing some songs, and have a wonderful time today. I was thinking maybe we could sing a song together first. Does that sound good? I don't know if any of you know my story, but I was trapped in an amulet, Princess Sophia's amulet, for 41 years. An evil, evil wizard named Shariki. She's just absolutely terrible. She's actually more of an evil sorceress. And she destroyed my palace and my family and put my family in a painting and put me in an amulet. I was trapped there for so long. And when Princess Sophia came to finally rescue me, I sang a wonderful song about being free and about fighting Shariki and taking back my kingdom. The song is called My Time. I'm going to play my magical music box here, and we'll go ahead and sing it together when you hear the music. Feels so weird having my feet on the ground. It's been a while since I've been walking around. With my own eyes, I can once again see my dream has come true. I am free. Well, now that I'm here, there's a mission at hand to drive that witch out of our beautiful land. I'll banish the darkness and bring back the light, 'cause this time I'm ready to fight. This is my time to face my old foe. My time to reclaim what was ours long ago. My time to stand up with honor and pride. My time, I've come too far to be denied. Now off I must fly to the palace once more to win back the freedom of all Avalor. I've spent my whole life waiting just for this day, and nothing can get in my way. This is my time. I have a plan that can't fail. My time. I won't stop till I prevail. My time to honor my family and friends. My time. This is my time. Once again, this is my time. Once again. Thank you so much for singing my song with me. So much fun. And now I think we should read one of my favorite stories. This is a story about my first day of rule. It was so much fun. This was my first day back in the palace after I had been locked in Princess Sophia's amulet. So now I had defeated Shariki and I was ready to be crowned queen. But I didn't know that maybe I wasn't quite ready to be crowned queen during this time. Here's the very first picture. I'm stretching. Do you like to stretch when you first wake up? Maybe you yawn. Oh. Maybe your hair's all messy too. So here I was, talking to my Jacqueline friends. And now I'll read you the words. It was my first day as Avalor's new leader. My Jacqueline friends Skylar, Luna, and Miggs raced to the palace to greet me. Hearing them outside my room, I joined them on the balcony and greeted them with a smile. Good morning! Miggs said he was sorry if he had woken me up. Woke me up? I barely slept last night. I mean, how are you supposed to sleep the night before you're going to be crowned queen? I then reminded the Jacquins that everyone was invited to the royal ball tonight to see me get my crown. I'll see you tonight. So exciting. Did you ever have a big party? Maybe not a ball if you're not from a palace like me, but maybe you had a really big birthday party or a special day that you were so excited about? Well, I was so excited, but the ball wasn't until tonight, so I had the whole day I had to get through. So here's our next picture. You see my Jacquin Skylar? He's silly, and there's Luna and Migs. It says, like everyone else in the kingdom, the Jacquins were thrilled that the evil Queen Shariki was gone at last. The majesty of Avalor had returned. Skylar jokingly struck a pose, mimicking the Jacquin that was now back on the kingdom's flag. Luna couldn't help laughing, but Migs just shook his head. Here's our next picture. Does anybody know my floaty blue friend here? Yeah, you do? Let's find out. Back in my room, I was surprised to see Zuzo, the spirit fox, checking up on me. So now everybody remembers Zuzo? He's my spirit guide. I thought I couldn't see spirit animals unless a wizard conjured them up. Maybe when you got out of the amulet, you took some of its magic with you, said Zuzo. He explained to me that I could use my magic to call upon him for an extra helping of spirit advice any time. In fact, I'm going to hit you with some right now. If you don't get downstairs right away, you're going to be late for breakfast. Thanks, Zuzo. But I was so surprised to find out that I could talk to my spirit guide anytime. I had enough magic from being in Sophia's amulet. If you could have a spirit guide, what animal would it be? I'm really glad that mine's a fox. Maybe yours could be a tiger, or maybe you like a bunny rabbit or a puppy. There's so many wonderful animals, aren't they? Here is me at breakfast with my familia. That means family. We've got my abuela, my grandmother, abuelo, my grandfather, and we have my cousin Esteban. At breakfast, my grandfather Francisco had some surprising news for me. I would not be crowned Queen of Avalor tonight after all. My cousin Esteban was more than happy to explain that I was too young to become queen. Too young? I said. I was trapped in that amulet for 41 years. But my grandmother Luisa gently explained that because I hadn't aged, I was technically still only 16. Francisco stated kindly but firmly that until I came of age, I must rule as crown princess with the help of a grand council who would approve all of my decisions. So Esteban was happy. He didn't think I was ready. And I was disappointed. I thought I was going to be queen. Now I have to have help from a grand council? I can do this on my own. And there I am, crossing my arms. I can do this on my own. I wish they knew. And there's my grandparents. I could not believe my ears. I have to get permission to rule? My grandfather explained that ruling a kingdom was not simple, but that one day I would gain the wisdom of a great ruler. I crossed my arms stubbornly. But I don't need a grand council. I'm ready to rule now. And do you remember my grandfather and I sang a little song? One day you'll be ready to rule. Remember that? Then after that, I left the dining room and I looked at a portrait of my parents. That was my mommy and papi, mis padres, my parents. They used to be the king and queen. I miss them a lot. Papa, how will I show them I can be as good a leader as you? Then I looked out the window at Avalor City, gleaming in the sunlight, and an idea struck me. Of course, today I will meet with all the city leaders and make sure they have what they need to restore our kingdom to greatness. That's a great plan, right? I'll talk to the people, and then we can make Avalor even better. So here's our next picture. Does anybody know my best friend here? This is when I first met her. This is Naomi. And there's her father. And there's my cousin Esteban. Here's my royal guard Gabe and my little sister Isa. Does everybody know Isa? She's a wonderful, wonderful inventor. With no time to waste, I asked Esteban and Gabe, my royal guard, to take me and my sister Isabel into town. The first stop was the harbor, where I met with Captain Turner, the harbor master. Is there anything you need to make the port run better? I asked him. The captain was just about to reply when his daughter, Naomi, interrupted. Another ship's gone missing. It's the third ship that's gone missing today. Huh. 3 ships in one day? We'd better start looking for them right away. But Esteban insisted that the harbor patrol would handle it. Frustrated, I had no choice but to give in to my cousin. But where could the ships be going? Kind of sounds like a mystery, doesn't it? Do you know what a mystery is? For those of you who don't know, a mystery is when something strange is happening and we have to uncover who's behind it. It was a pretty interesting first day. So here's my sister Isa, and there's Gabe, and look at these little purple dog things. They were magical beings. Let's find out more about them. Isabel wanted to stay behind and sketch the ships. Gabe offered to watch over her, so I continued with my tour of the city. As Isa was sketching, she noticed something strange. Why are dogs boarding a ship? Let's go investigate. Gabe scrambled after her. Princess, wait up! Now we have our next picture. Look how many of those guys there are. I wonder if they're going to catch Gabe and Isa. Hidden behind a barrel on the ship, Gabe and Isa watched as the dogs flipped in midair and shapeshifted into strange, spotted purple creatures. Do you know what shapeshifting means? Shapeshifting is when creatures can use magic to change their appearance. It's pretty amazing. Gabe had never seen anything like it. What are those things? I don't know, said Isa. Suddenly, the creature spotted Gabe and Isabel, and before the two of them could even think about running, they found themselves tied up. Uh-oh. Here's our next picture. Does anybody know this lady? She's a very important city official. She's Doña Paloma. She owns a very big emporium, which is like a giant store in Avalor. So she's very important for our kingdom. In the Via Mercado, I was keeping up as Doña Paloma, the most powerful merchant in all of Avalor, dictated a list of her many requests. As I was taking notes, Naomi ran up to me. She had seen the strange creature sailing out of the port. Another ship was stolen and your sister was on it, she said. Isa? I just got Isa back. I can't lose her again. I never should have left the harbor. See, there's Naomi coming up to tell me. I was so worried about my sister because I had only just gotten her back out of the painting and saved my kingdom. Now she was already being tied up on a ship? Oh my goodness. I spotted my Jacquin friends up in the sky and I called for their help. So here's our next picture. We need our Jacquin friends to help us get there fast, right? If I'm gonna rule this kingdom, I can't be afraid of taking on a few thieves. I turned to Naomi. Come on, Naomi. You're the only one who knows what the ship looks like. Naomi gulped. She'd never ridden a Jacquin before. But I would not take no for an answer. You'll be fine. Would you be scared to hop on a Jacquin for the first time? They're very nice, but they do fly really fast. So here we are flying, and that's Avalor. Naomi was not having as good of a time on Luna. Here's Miggs by himself, and there's me on Skylar.
This is so not fine. As the Jacquin soared through the sky, Naomi held on to Luna for dear life. I frantically searched the ocean below, but there were no ships in sight. Finally, Naomi was able to calm down enough to tell me about the ship thieves. They were these weird purple creatures. Do you have any idea what they are? I shook my head. No, but I know someone who might. There we are flying. And this way, for the end of my story, I'll show you the pictures, like this. I took Naomi to see Mateo, the young wizard in training who had helped me defeat Shiriki. Mateo assured us that we had come to the right place, since his grandfather, the royal wizard Alcazar, had written a book about all the magical creatures in Avalor. The book explained that the purple creatures were called noblins. They could transform into dogs and had the power to turn objects into gold. I continued reading. It says the noblins live deep in the jungle and never stray far from home. That's why we didn't see the ships on the ocean, because they took them up the river. What good friends I have. As I burst from Mateo's library, determined to take charge and rescue my sister, Zuzo suddenly appeared. I brushed past him. I'm sorry, Zuzo. I'm kind of in a hurry. But I didn't even slow down to listen. Aboard the stolen ship, Gabe noticed that the Noblin leader took a sharp turn at a fork in the river. Uh-oh, this is not good. The more twists and turns we make, the harder it'll be for anyone to find us. Isabel thought for a moment. I have an idea. And look, she's going to grab her book. My sister is so smart, and she's an inventor too. You can always count on Isa. My friends and I flew upriver into the jungle searching for signs of the missing ship. Suddenly, I spotted something below. There's something in the water. Skylar dipped down closer to the river for a better look. It's a page from Isabel's journal. She must be leaving us a trail. There's the trail. Do you see it? Of paper. Oh my goodness, here we are on the boat. I followed the trail of pages all the way to the ship and I jumped aboard. Isabel was overjoyed to see me. Elena, you came for me. I am never losing you again. And with the flash of my sword, I freed Isa and Gabe. But we weren't out of danger yet. When the Noblins saw their captives trying to escape, they surrounded us. On impulse, I turned and faced them. Isabel was afraid for her sister. Me, what are you doing? Taking back our ship, I stood my ground and addressed the Noblins. As the future Queen of Avalor, I order you to leave this vessel at once. The Noblins don't look very happy, do they? But the leader of the Noblins was not intimidated by me. He declared that he would never let his Noblins be captured again. Then all the feisty little creatures pounced. My friends and I were no match for them. The Noblins were just about to throw me overboard when I spotted a rope. Ooh. I grabbed the rope and swung to safety. I was just catching my breath when Zuzo appeared once again. Why are you in such a rush? Did you ever stop and think why the Noblins took the ships in the first place? I looked at my spirit guide. No, but you're right, I should have. I was so busy trying to prove I could be a great queen that I forgot to act like one. With new purpose, I swung down from the mast and faced the Noblin leader. I found out that they had only taken the ships to get back home. You see, Shariki had imprisoned them and forced them to make gold for her. I told them that you can borrow our ships as long as you give them back. They weren't bad guys after all. That night, it was my royal ball and royal coronation. I had to choose a grand council. And so I chose my cousin Esteban for his wisdom and knowledge of the kingdom, my grandfather Francisco for his wisdom, and my grandmother Luisa for her kindness. And I also chose Mateo as my royal wizard, and I chose Naomi, my friend, because she knew all about the ports, and I had a great new team with me, so I was ready to rule with their help. And then Zuzo appeared again and said, "Good job. Are you ready for number 2? Today was my first day, but I couldn't wait for another day."
It was so much fun reading my story with you that I thought it might be even more fun to read one of my really dear friends' stories, Mulan. She's a fierce female warrior who fought for what was right. And her story goes like this. Long ago, and far beyond the Great Wall of China, a tiny dragon named Mushu left his ancestral home in search of a young girl, Mulan. Mulan had cut her hair and dressed like a man to take her father's place in the war against the fierce Huns. Here's Mulan. Mushu was supposed to protect and guard her. "Walk like a man, legs apart," advised Mushu as she entered the camp. "Punch guys in the arm. They like that stuff. Call them names and spit a lot." Oh my goodness, that sounds gross. And there she is getting into trouble. Every time Mushu gave her advice, Mulan got into more trouble. Soon, all of the new recruits were fighting. The camp was in total chaos when Captain Shang arrived. "My name is, Ping," Mulan told Shang as she awkwardly tried to sound like a man. Recently promoted, Shang was wary of possible troublemakers. And here's the handsome captain. He was the one in charge of Mulan's whole troop of soldiers. He was a strong and skillful leader, and although Mulan felt clumsy and inadequate, she worked hard and used her mind to finally win his respect. All of the soldiers admired Ping's determination, and they were inspired by her actions. Mulan climbed all the way to the top of a very tall pole. She was using her smart brain to do very well and save her father. But still, not even her best friends, Qin, Po, Ling, and Yao, knew that Ping was a woman. Shang led his troops swiftly to join the imperial army. Mulan and her friends sang songs, but sadly their good cheer came to a halt when they discovered that the army and the village lay in ruin. Oh no, the Huns had destroyed a whole village and burned it down. They were very sad. Shang was especially upset when he realized that his father, the general, had been killed in battle. As Mulan tried to comfort him, the Huns returned. Proving to be a great and courageous soldier, Mulan, with Mushu's help, caused an avalanche that buried the enemy. Wounded in battle, Mulan was still able to jump on her horse and pull Shang from the outrushing snow. She saved his life, even though she was wounded in battle. She's pretty amazing, isn't she? As Qin Po and the others helped lead them to safety, Shang regained consciousness and looked at Mulan with admiration. "From now on, you have my trust," he said, thanking her. Mulan's smile soon turned to pain, and as her wound was treated, they all learned the truth about Ping. At this time in China, Mulan's deception was punishable by death, but Shang spared her. "A life for a life," he declared. Dejected, Mulan watched the troops march away, leaving her alone with Mushu. With a heavy heart, Mulan confided in her friend. "I just wanted to do things right so that when I looked in the mirror, I would see someone worthwhile. But I was wrong. I see nothing." Trying to make her feel better, Mushu confessed that he had set out to make her a hero. And here she is, trying to stay warm by the fire with her horse Khan and Mushu and Cricky too. She was feeling really sad. Well, Mushu admitted that he only did so that he would regain his position as a guardian. "At least you risked your life to help people you love. I risked your life to help myself," he told her. Mulan embraced the little dragon. How could she be angry with such a friend? This quiet moment was shattered as Mulan realized that a few of the Huns had survived. Racing to the imperial city to warn Shang, Mulan arrived moments before the emperor was taken prisoner. Uh-oh. The Huns popped right out of the snow. Qin Po, Ling, and Yao tried unsuccessfully to break down the palace door. "Hey guys, I have an idea," Mulan called. Eager for help of their quick-thinking friend, they let Mulan dress them up as women. That's a funny idea, but it helped them sneak into the palace and trick the guards. Together, they scaled the wall and attacked the unsuspecting Huns. Realizing that he could trust her, Shang soon followed her lead. They rescued the emperor, but Shan Yu, the Hun leader, angrily attacked Shang. To protect him, Mulan revealed herself as the soldier who had defeated him at the mountain. With ferocity, Shan Yu began to chase her. Putting her head together, the girl and the dragon hatched a plan. Leading Shan Yu to the top of the palace, Mulan grabbed his sword. So there's Qin Po saving the emperor. And here is Mulan bravely fighting against Shan Yu, the evil Han leader. Mushu shot a rocket toward him, and Shan Yu was blasted into a tower of fireworks. Mulan was happy to leave for home. She realized that she was special enough as herself, and that she had friends she could count on. Here she is defeating Shan Yu with that amazing firework. It shot him right off the roof. She presented the emperor's sword to her father, and he welcomed her back. Shang followed her, realizing with the emperor's help that his feelings for Mulan had grown. She was much more than a good fighter. Finally, Mulan's heart was full. She brought such honor to her family, and her father was very proud of her. And she made new friends. As for Mushu, the joyful little dragon regained his guardianship. "Send out for egg rolls," he shouted to the happy ancestors. And that's the end of that story. It was so wonderful reading 2 stories with you, singing and talking with you. Again, I want to say thank you to my friends at the Newport Public Library for having me today, and I want you all to have a wonderful day. Thank you. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Adios.